we're talking about the cultural difference between Ireland and Italy. I know there's a lot to talk about it, but if you would say right now, what are the cultural differences versus 86 when you moved there? What would be the differences and what would be the things in common?
Okay, well, here's the thing. When I moved in 1986, I went to Bari, down in the deep south. It was very different, very, very different. I came from Dublin. Both countries are Catholic, but I found it was a different type of Catholicism down in Bari. I found it quite difficult to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So to be quite honest, after 2 years, I applied to the University of Pisa and I got a job there. So I moved to Pisa. It had always been my dream to move to Tuscany. It's such a beautiful part of Italy and the world, to be quite honest. And I've been in Pisa ever since 1988.
Going back to Bari, so what were the main challenges? I'm curious to understand what was your struggle. If you want to mention a couple of things, I don't want to go in detail, but
Okay.
I'm very interested to know what is it.
Okay, well, I suppose moving from Catholic Ireland as it was at that stage in the 1980s, there was no abortion, contraception came in 1985, there was no divorce. It was a very conservative country. I moved to Italy, which in theory was more progressive, but to be quite honest, I found, and I'm talking about my experience in Bari, it was extremely hypocritical. It was difficult to deal with the hypocrisy. I moved into a house with a girl and her family because I was trying to coach her for her English. And I went out on my first Saturday evening in Bari to meet other colleagues I was going to be working with. And I had a very tame evening, came home at midnight to find the girl's uncle waiting for me. He read me the riot act. He said, "Voi nordiche, you northern women, you can't come back at midnight. No, no, no." So I was shocked to my rooty tooths at that. I just thought, it's unbelievable. The man doesn't know me. He knows nothing about me. He's making judgments. He's no right to do that. I found, so there was a curfew at 10. If you wanted to be una ragazza per bene, and that's very important in Italy, to be per bene, proper. If you want to be una ragazza per bene, I had to come home at the curfew at 10. But what went on before 10 just curled my hair. So I found it was very hypocritical. I had to get out of it. I came to Pisa and it was different. Now, it has to be said that Bari, in the meantime, has changed immensely. It's very progressive, very forward-looking. None of that hypocrisy pertains anymore. It's not a thing. And a friend that I made down in Bari, Kelly Giannacco, we're still friends. She's a very close friend, even still. She guided me through thick and thin down there when I was having difficulty making sense of cultural situations. She guided me through. Here's the thing, though. I think as a Catholic, I had some insight into possible hypocrisy. I saw my English friends. They were lost. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't deal with just the hypocrisy. As English people, so many of them just lost their way up and went home. I just went to a different part of Italy and it was fine.
So is it fair to say that you found home in Pisa?
Yes. I have 2 homes now. I'm Dublin. I was born in Dublin. Dublin is my home. Dublin's in my heart. But I have a second home in Pisa. I feel that that's immensely enriching. I've been accepted here. There've been highs and lows, of course, but it's been steep learning curve at times, but it's definitely been worth it. I love Pisa.